A lot of people fear changing tunings on the banjo, but that's part of the beauty of the banjo is the 80 or more tunings that are out there that give it such a unique sound. And when you're in a jam session and there's those crazy people who play instruments that don't even need capos or change tunings and they just go from key to key to key to key and you're sitting there going, wait a minute, I need 3 banjos. No, you don't. You just need to get more comfortable with tuning. So that's what we're going to do. Start in your G tuning. And if you're using a tuner, that's fine. Now, one of the things that happens is you can start getting used to the muscle memory of how far you have to move a string. So for instance, here I am in G tuning, and for G modal, I need to tune my second string up to that note. Now watch. I'm there. And if I need to go back, here is one of the things that drives me nuts, is to watch people tune like this. One of the problems with that is that you're really messing with every string when you mess with one string. And to lower it really far and bring it back up, you might get that to the right place. Don't forget that playing a banjo with a drum head and the fact that every banjo neck is just not quite as tight as you want it to be, and there's all of that play. When you change one string, the other strings actually are going to react a little bit. And that's not your fault, that's just what happens with the banjo. So when I do that, luckily this banjo stays pretty well in tune, but I've played some where I have to make an adjustment to another string because by tightening one you've changed the tension on everything. Remember, that's not your fault, it's a banjo. Now, watch what I do. One swoop, 1, 2, 3. So you might want to try looking at your tuner, getting that in tune, and just practice with that one swoop. 1, 2. How close can you get? And then fine tune it. And then one swoop to get back. Now we're going to do the same thing with double C tuning. So I'm going to start by going what we just did, and then and now I've got to fine tune it a little bit. And now that sounds just a tad sharp, so I'm going to change it. But it's not 10 minutes of futzing. It's a couple seconds. Now, that takes some practice. I've been doing it for 46 years. But it's not a bad idea to pick up your banjo and spend one of your little practice sessions just on use the tuner for a while, then try using your ear. Now, when you put your capo on, let's say I want to play in D. I've put my capo on. And I had to make some adjustments there. You put the capo on, again, you've kind of changed things a little bit. And I make a few little adjustments, and the last thing I do is pop the 5th string under my 5th string doodad, my capo. I know from experience and from playing this banjo for 30 years that's automatically going to make my 5th string a little bit sharp, because by pushing it down here it's tightening the string more. And there it is. And when I go between double C or double D and G or A, those are things I've learned about my banjo, okay? So I'll go to A now. And that's pretty good. But let's say I want to go down to G. I take my capo off. I'm going to listen. That needs a little adjustment. And now that's a little flat. And I just give it a tiny nudge. All of those adjustments are natural adjustments to happen with the banjo. Now I play in a lot of keys. Let's say I'm going to play in B. I'm going to slap the capo on the 5th fret. I'm going to put my doodad on 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. That's pretty darn close. So the tiny adjustments I make with tiny nudges. And the bigger adjustments, I'll do one major turn, and then I'll do fine tuning to that major turn. And that's really all there is to it, besides experience and practice. And the way you get that is to do it over and over again. So instead of fearing, oh no, I got to change tunings, pick up your banjo one day and just go in between 2 or 3 different tunings over and over and over again. Get used to it, get the feel of it, and get yourself a little bit more comfortable with it. The more you do it, the easier it is. And when I get into a jam session and they start changing keys in between each batch of tunes, and some people are whining over there, I'm usually in the next key before the guitar players have changed their capos. You can do that too.